Hello, we are here is the restaurant Iberica in Marylebone, London. And if you look at the food, you won't recognize, well, you will recognize some of it is Spanish, like ham, because it's a Spanish restaurant. What was this? Chicken. The croquettes, the bread is lovely, and some octopus. So we're ready to rock and roll, eat and talk. And that's the intention with MARCOS Alonso, who always generous with your time. Thank you very much, and hello.
Thank you.
We're talking on the back of a defeat, but before a cup final. You lost against Newcastle, but you have to mentally prepare to the next thing. So how do you do it? As soon as the game is finished, boom, gone?
Yeah, it's not easy, but maybe the day after, like today, you try to focus more on what's coming this week and forget about last game, because it doesn't help to prepare a final.
That's partly the secret of champion teams, isn't it? That the last game doesn't matter. You cannot hang on for too long. So tell me one or two top games that you've been in that you couldn't even celebrate. Oh yeah, the 2 goals against Spurs, for instance. You scored 2 goals against Spurs, one at the end, and next you go home and prepare for another game.
Yeah, you have also to forget the good games, because there is always another game coming, and the most important game is always the next one. So football has no memory, so you always have to keep working and get ready for the next one.
So then you have to really get to enjoy the 90 minutes. That is the moment to enjoy. There's no other moment. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's the moment when you can do something to change a result or to change a dynamic of the team. That's why we always leave everything on the pitch and try to do our best. And then it's also important during the week to get ready to give this 100% when it's time.
Because you wouldn't even look at the goals or look at the game or look back at what you've just done. Is that not a way to learn, or do you get the clips anyway?
No, we get the clips always from the staff. They analyze and they show us what we have to improve and what we have to do to keep doing things that we do well. So there is no need to turn on the TV at home and start watching the game.
You don't watch much of the day then?
Sometimes, or even our games when they play them after games. Sometimes I watch them at home, but I think most important is what the manager wants us to do, and that's the stuff we do in the training ground.
Do you get nervous with the commentary? Not so much the commentary, but the analysis afterwards. Do you get like start shouting at the television, but you didn't know because that day I had a groin pain, and why did you say that about me, or not?
No. I think it's me that I know when I have played well and when I don't, and that's what matters for me.
Because it's a strange business, football, and a strange profession in which you give everything for 90 minutes. You prepare yourself for a whole week for that game, or 2 or 3 days, in your case mostly. And then you have 60, 45, 50,000 people giving you grief because they think they know better than you what the decision would have made, should have been made, especially if you got it wrong. And then, if that wasn't enough, it all gets analysed again by a bunch of people that are watching it on the telly. And then it gets analysed again by people that have been writing about it in the papers. It doesn't happen in any other profession. Is that something to enjoy or to suffer?
I don't know. I would say enjoy when they talk good, but to be honest, something that my father has always told me, that I don't have to care about this, even when they speak good or when they speak bad. Myself, who knows when I've done things right and when I don't, and that's the only thing that has to has to analyze for me.
So you even say when you came to Bolton and you were young, and since then, I imagine you realised that it was harder than you probably thought originally. Is that how you would look at it now?
Well, now I know. With experience, I know how it works. When I came here, I was a kid, and
You were 19?
18, 19, yeah. And life had been easy for me. I used to live at home, play for Real Madrid. I was used to win. Training ground was 5 minutes from my home. I had my friends there, my family. It was very easy for me. Then when you go out and you're on your own and it's a new country, it's a new league, it's a different football. It's a team fighting for relegation or mid-table. It's much different, but I think it was good to me. It helped me to learn. I got a lot of experience during the years, and thanks to this, today I'm the player and the person I am.
So you came on your own?
Yeah, I used to have my family coming sometimes and friends staying with me, but I came on my own.
And where did you live when you came to Bolton?
In Bolton.
In an apartment?
It was a house.
In a house? Close to the centre, there was a little bit of life there, or?
No, I used to go more to Manchester. I was used to Madrid, a bigger city. So I used to spend more time in there, but I prefer to be close to the training ground and to the stadium, because there is where I spend more time training and playing.
Who was in Manchester at the time? Did you go out with any other Spanish players, or?
I think after the first year, De Gea came. I used to hang out also with Joel, who used to play for Wigan by the time. And I used to have a couple of friends from Bolton, like Stuart Holden and Ivan Klasnic. We used to hang out a lot together.
So this is, you come to Bolton, as you say, after a kind of comfortable but deserved career at Real Madrid. 8 years you were at Real Madrid, and you made your debut with Pellegrini.
Yeah.
Didn't play long.
No, just one game for like 5-10 minutes.
I thought it was 2 minutes, so 5-10 minutes is five times that. But how did that feel? Did that feel like, right, I'm here to stay, or were you thankful that you actually made it to Real Madrid and you thought you kind of made it?
Well, they wanted me to stay, but I don't know. I knew it was not going to be easy, and me as a kid, I was hungry to play in first division. I knew there maybe I had to fight a lot to start every weekend, and I decided to go somewhere different. By the time I used to see a lot the Premier League, and I used to admire the league, and it was a good chance for me to move to Bolton, and I decided to do so.
Who were you fighting against? Marcelo?
Yeah.
And?
Marcelo and...
Coentrao, no?
No, Coentrao came when I left. I think that year it was only Marcelo left back.
And you were in Castilla. Two things about that period. Castilla being the Real Madrid B. First, that as a kid you used to play as a winger, and then who took you back as a fullback, and why?
It was in the under 16s, under 17s. The left back got injured, and I had to play a game there. I did really well, and I played a couple more games. Then I went to play one game with the under 19s because they needed a left back, and I did very well as well. So I stayed playing there for, well, until today.
You can eat if you want, you know, by the way. I know you're going for lunch now, but I'm going to have a croquette before it gets too cold. And then you met Lopetegui, who's now the Spanish national coach, at Castilla, is that right? How did that go?
Well, after this year I started playing left back. I went with the under 18s, is Juvenila. And after 2-3 months playing with them, I started training with the second team, with Castilla, and Lopetegui was there. I had a good first 6 months there, and then the following year he left, and I stayed there for 1 year.
Tell us, as a national coach, I think I can identify 2 or 3 things that he does. One of them, identify talent and give talent the possibility of playing together, which links with a good Spain of the 3 tournaments that we won. 2, he still wants a lot of enough order for the talent to make an impact. And 3, sounds like he's young. He's given a lease of life to the squad. I don't know if it's down to the way he talks to you or the way how he relates to the group. Tell us a little bit about that. What's his magic?
Well, I think since the time in Castilla, he's improved a lot as well as a manager, because he was starting by the time as well, and now when I've been with the national team, I've seen him with very clear ideas and I mean, right mentality to put on each player, and I think he's doing a great job there, and I think the team is ready. We saw in the last couple friendly games and the qualification that we are a great team, and well, hopefully we do very good in the World Cup.
Do you know he almost signed for Wolves?
For Wolverhampton? I didn't know.
This is the team that, of course, has gone to the Premier League now. And at the time of Jorge Mendes arriving and the new money arriving...
The beginning of this season?
No, just before he got called up by Spain. And he had, the way he puts it, he had the luggage ready. He was going to go abroad. He knew everything about the Wolves squad, what he wanted in, what he wanted out, what he wanted to bring into the squad. The ambition was the ambition that you've seen now. So we're talking, what, 2 years, a year and a half, something like that? Well, and then he got the call from the federation. It was like, oh, right. Well, when Spain calls you, then... and he couldn't go. But he still got that feeling. I don't know if he ever talked to you, but that feeling of, I need to come to England at some point. He speaks English too?
Yeah, I think he could do well here. You never know. Obviously, to play a World Cup with your national team must be something very special. So I don't know what will happen in the future, but I can just wish him the best for the World Cup, and then he will have to decide what to do. I don't know if he have more years on his contract or not, but in a personal opinion, I think I like the Premier League, and I think this league is very good and even better for a manager, I think.
At this point in time, we don't know yet if you're going to be part of the squad of the World Cup. Fingers crossed that you are. But the competition is tough. There's a lot of players that have been playing in that position in the last 2 years under him. So from Escudero to Bernat, Nacho, Jordi Alba, yourself, Azpilicueta, it's a wealth of talent in that position. So if you get chosen, what do you think that would be? What do you offer?
Well, I've been the top scorer defender for the last 2 years. I think I can help the team in the air. In Spain, they don't have too many tall players. and at some point you may need to defend and to attack. Some hate.
Set pieces, but you'll have to fight with Isco. Who else will take it? Silva.
On the right side, I think Silva is the only left-footed that can shoot free kicks.
Okay.
But yeah, with free kicks as well. And then I think I have improved a lot on a tactical aspect since my time in England and now here with Conte. I think it's something I never learned playing in Madrid and playing for Bolton, but I think in my time in Fiorentina and here it's something I have taken on very well.
What has Conte taught you there? Is it the timing of your runs? Is it the body positioning? Is it a more collective way of thinking of your role? What?
Yeah, I think he works very well this tactical aspect.
What does that mean?
Well, that means positioning. That means marking. That means covering other players. Defend while you attack means a lot of things, but I think most important characteristic of him is maybe how he works every day. There is no relaxed training session, there is no relaxed exercise. You have to be always focused 100% and give everything, even in training sessions.
If you're not, does he tell you? Or does he tell you by not putting you in the team?
No, he tells you straight away. Sometimes in doing like possession games, when he sees someone is not running, he just switch the ball to the other team, even if you are keeping the ball okay, you know. So you have always to be on the move, trying to give solutions and trying to be in the right place.
And does he take most of the session, or does he split it between the coaches, or how does he do it?
Yeah, most of the session.
So that's his real passion then, to be able to improve a team by coaching and improving the little details. And
yeah. I think coaching and also, as I said, the attitude. No, he made us give everything, the whole training session, the whole game for the whole year. So I think this helps you as a player as well to have the right intensity at games.
I think we've seen that two Conte. One inside the camp, of course, on the bench, very intense, always demanding to everybody, from referees to fans to players, to give 100%. And then the one in the press conferences where he's calmly been saying for a while, give me more, give me more, give me more. That almost logical battle with the board, because he wants more from them. How has it been lived inside the camp by the players?
Say the question again.
So the fact that he's been so demanding to the board and want more of them has created a tension. How did that? How did the players leave that?
Well, I think he tried to keep us focused on football, on what's happening inside the pitch, and I think that's what we have to do and to worry about. I don't think this has affected the players in any sense.
But then how do you explain that, having won the league, Chelsea have had a difficult season?
Well, first of all, I think all the teams have done very well. Like Manchester City, their consistency was not easy to follow game by game, and I think that's an important reason. And then also we lost a couple of important players from last year that we've missed, like Diego. I think he scored 20 goals. This year, our top scorer, I think, scored 11. If you see other teams, Liverpool, 30-something, Manchester City. That's big, you know. I'm not saying, I'm not blaming our strikers, of course. It's Alvaro's first year here. He started very well, then he had a back injury. That's something that happened in football, but I think that's another important reason for us to not be in the top four.
You were telling me earlier that not getting the results at the beginning of the season, but especially that defeat against Bournemouth, was the mental blow for all of you.
Yeah, I think everything was right until then. We were getting closer to Manchester City, and I think after this game was an important defeat in an important moment of the season, and I think after this things maybe changed a little bit.
You live in the city, the centre of London, near Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
I remembered you telling me once that you had to walk to the stadium once. Tell us that story.
Yeah, it was one time after an Arsenal game. You have to bring your car. I think it's 3 hours before kickoff, but my father, I think, was going to the game. He didn't have time, so I had either to wait for a taxi or to go outside walking. I had some things to do, and I had to go out walking. So the security came with me for a bit, close to the stadium, but then after 500 yards outside from the stadium, the security came back and I stayed on my own. The road was not too busy, and I was like wearing not Chelsea tracksuit.
Did you have a cap or something?
My own stuff and a cap, and when I turned the corner there was like a pub in there, and I mean like 100 fans, Arsenal t-shirts, Chelsea, and some of them recognized me and they start following me. They were like 50 people. I almost ran away.
At that point you thought, you see the pub and you see them enjoying themselves and you see the stadium, any temptation to just stop for one? No chance. I took some pictures with them and then I just tried to run away a little bit. One thing that the Anglo-Saxon audience may not know is that you could only be a player in your family. I mean, you were always going to be a player. Is that right? Is that how, you know?
To be honest, I didn't think about any other profession.
And that's because you're surrounded by not only players, successful players. So tell us a little bit about Marquitos and, of course, your grandfather, who won 5 European Cups only with Real Madrid, and then MARCOS Alonso as well, your dad.
Yeah, my grandfather played for Real Madrid. He won the 5 consecutive European Cups. Used to be a centre back, tall, very physical and very charismatic person. I think he's been very important in my life, and well, I always miss him when I achieve something in my life or in football. I always remember him, and I would like him to still be here. And then my father used to be in Real Madrid's academy, and then he left to his home team because he's born in Santander. He went to play for Racing. He played in La Liga with 17 years old, and then he signed for Atletico, and then Barcelona, and then Atletico again. He used to play with Maradona. He won some titles with Barca, and both played for the national team. And it's good to have this experience in the family. I think it has helped in my career during.
So from your grandfather, you probably took the strength. From your dad, the ability, perhaps. He was a winger.
Maybe he was He had more ability than me, and he used to take on more players. He used to play as a winger, but yeah, maybe the style.
Does your dad think is better than you?
Yeah, for sure. If you ask him, he will say he is the best of the three.
And what do you think?
I am. It's difficult to achieve the titles my grandfather got, but I think modern football is more difficult, and that's why I am the best of the three.
So, what did you think? I've enjoyed the conversation. I've enjoyed what I've learned from it, but I'd like to know what you've learned from it. I'd like you to comment. I'd like you to subscribe. I love you to tell your friends and your auntie, uncle, your cousins, your brothers, sisters, parents, that there is a channel that has got long conversations about football in a different way. That's what I'm trying to open up to you, a different way of seeing this game. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, subscribe, do all that under here, and come back soon, please.